Boxingego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. Ah man, you know AB ain't bailing them. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button if you're new to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for the latest and greatest in boxing. Now, there's more bad news for Adrien the Problem. Anybody can get it, Broner. Now, he had a hearing today and he was just handcuffed and he has to do more jail time. Now, this isn't as long as his 2016, right after the Ashley Theophane fight, where he was thrown in jail for 30 days, but he does have to serve more jail time. Now, he's been charged with contempt of court and he has to do 3 days in the can yet again, right? So, I just read the article on Fox 19, shout out to them. He had a hearing in Kentucky, and this is stemming back to an incident that took place in 2014 in the Kenton County Bar. And I guess he missed, apparently Broner failed to show up to court appearances regarding that 2014 case. And as a result, they threw him in contempt of court. He was arrested again not too long ago in April, when he was trying to pass Kentucky state lines or whatnot, and the cop noticed that his car was riddled with bullets, and then Broner was explaining that he had been shot at. So more bad news, man. Like, I don't know what it is. Broner really needs to get some of the people who are around him away from him, you know what I mean, because this is becoming a regular segment on my channel. I feel like every so often, every couple months, every couple weeks, I'm doing this. This is becoming like a regular segment, like Boxingego Monday Mail Day or First Look. It's becoming like too frequent that I hear these stories about Broner getting shot at, Broner getting thrown in jail. When he had to do 30 days is because he showed up to court. He showed up like 3 hours late to a hearing, and this was in an assault case at the bowling alley, that whole incident, and I'm not going to rehash that, go into detail. He beat the case, basically. The guy dropped the charges. However, all you had to do is show up to court on time, you know what I'm saying, and most likely you walk away scot-free. But Broner showed up late. The judge found it disrespectful, and he says, you know what I mean, you're wasting the court's time. We set out this time to finalize your stuff, so now as a result, you do 30 days in the can. You know what I mean? Those are silly minor occurrences where all you're doing, you're just missing court dates. You know what I mean? It's like, I remember I had some ticket issues out here in California, and I was young, dumb, or whatever, and I just didn't go to court. You know what I mean? I was working and different stuff at the time and just being stupid, and they charged me with failure to appear and failure to pay. So obviously I didn't have to do any jail time or anything for that, but just for not going to court, I had to pay all this money just because I held up the court's time, and I had a failure to pay or failure to appear on my record, which in turn it affected my license. It suspended my license. Just different stuff like that. And Broner, he's dealing with different issues. The severity is probably even more extreme because I believe he's on probation. You know what I mean? And anytime you're a celebrity, you're under a microscope. So they know your name and they become familiar with you and you're in the systems. They keep seeing like, man, okay, you had arrest back here. This guy had an assault charge even though he dropped it. You know what I mean? That doesn't explain his initial complaint. Then your car was shot up. Then you got arrested. You got arrested in Las Vegas, I remember. It's just, this is not good for Broner. Like, he's 27 years old. He's talented. And I just keep seeing headlines like this. You know what I mean? Right now, Adrien Broner, if you go to his Instagram, it looks like it's deactivated. So maybe someone who's handling his account put it on the freeze, or maybe they deleted the whole thing. I'm not sure, but if you search for Broner's name, it won't come up, and he did have a verified account before that. So I don't really know what it'll take. I've already done my message to Broner videos in the past, but ultimately, one thing I do know about life is a person has to want to change for that change to come. You know what I mean? If they don't see the harm or they don't see the wrong in what they're doing, then they're gonna keep doing what they do. You know what I mean? There's not gonna be no redemption or alterations of what they've done. You know what I mean? So ultimately it goes back to Broner, and like, to be a celebrity and have these old charges and miss court and stuff, that's just unprofessional. And you become a public enemy in the court system, and you're like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, just to give you guys a quick little lesson, the court systems, I'm not saying always, but they usually side with the court. For example, if you had a case, right, let's say they charged you and one judge found you guilty and said you have to pay X amount of dollars for whatever you were sued for or whatever, then it's not impossible to have that appealed. But a lot of times the courts side with the other judge, the previous judge, and like, you know what I mean, they're on the kind of on the same team, unless they find something so compelling, so much new evidence or whatever, the way that the case is presented, and they see your side, which does happen sometimes. But more often than not, I would say the court kind of keeps it in the family, if you will, and they're going to side with previous judges. So for this example, if you think about it, Broner has already been thrown in jail for 30 days by another judge, local judge. Let's say he was in Ohio or Kentucky, it doesn't matter, right? The new judge who just served him 3 days, I feel like the new judge is going to be more inclined to throw him in contempt. He's already seen another judge did it, and he already seen Broner's behavior. So it kind of lets the judge know that, hey, you know what I mean? Another judge seen the disrespect because he missed the court date or came late or whatnot. So I'm gonna throw him in contempt too. You know what I mean? So I feel like you open those floodgates a lot more when you start trumping up and like getting all these charges, and they look at your jacket and they look at your track record. They're like, okay, he wasted this court's time and this judge threw him in contempt. It just makes it easier, if you guys get what I'm saying, it makes it easier for the next judge to review your record and see the little infractions and see what other judges ruled and what's happened to you. And it makes it easier, as opposed to, let's say Broner had like a clean bill of health, never been in trouble, no judge had thrown him in jail for contempt, then there'd be less likelihood that this judge would say, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying the judge wouldn't absolutely, but if you have a history of any kind of behavior, then the courts use that as, they build that as character. Like, okay, this is this is a history. You know what I'm saying? You have a pattern of doing this. So you disrespected Judge Kent's time. Now you're disrespecting my time. You know what I mean? It just becomes all bad for you. So again, I'm just really reporting the facts. I've already done the Broner like brother to brother type messages and videos. Ultimately, Broner has to want to change. He has to want to get the people who may be bad influences from around him, or, you know what I mean? Sometimes your friends aren't your friends. People you think are your friends, they'll be there for the ride, but let's see, if you get locked up in the can for any length of real time, you know what I mean? Like, you get sat down, you might have all kinds of stuff. People don't come to visit. People might try to get at your girl. Just different stuff like that. And I've had people who've been locked up, known people that have been locked up. And if you ever really been like on some street shit or know anything like that, you'll know that's a crazy world. You know what I mean? When people have to sit down, like, all types of stuff can happen. All types of stuff can happen in prison, sometimes jail. But nonetheless, this just isn't a good look for Broner career-wise, because at the end of the day, you're a professional athlete, and I feel like Broner has a lot going for it. He has about billions. He has a fighter, Robert Easter Jr., who has a tough fight, You have to look at your team. You have to look at your camp. All these things become kind of a distraction. Like, damn, big bro can't even watch me train. You know what I mean? Because he's missing 3 days or whatnot. 3 days, like I said, I'm not trying to overdo it. 3 days is not as long, but it's still just 3 days away from your kids and all type of stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.